they
Broken
crash
bottles.
bottles to take out pregnancy.
The same people in church are the same people who are getting pregnant. They are the same people who are having STIs. They are the same people who are doing safe and unsafe abortions.
So marital don't just
We don't just do abortion.
jump
Yes.
and do abortion.
Or somebody doesn't just walk in and we are like, come, let us do
coming to do
abortion for
abortion.
you.
Exactly. Someone thinks that we come there, I'm 9 months pregnant. I want to say,
we'll
come
do
and sit down.
everything.
You understand?
The IUD is one of the longest method. It's for 10 years. The simplest method for me. You just push it there. Yeah. These people selling the local herbs. Oh God. When I'm in the car, sometimes I want to talk. Papa Jaina, how can it not true?
It's not true.
Please, every round, new condom.
Hey,
Very
Don't
important.
use
Seven
one
rounds.
condom for 7 rounds.
wash it and bring it back. Welcome to another exciting episode of Spill the Tea, Sis, with your girl Abena Pacey. This show is proudly brought to you by Marie Stopes International Ghana. And anytime you're having issues about your sexual and reproductive health, that should be your go-to place. Today, we are actually having a conversation about sexual and reproductive health. Like, what is it all about? What's the fuss about sexual and reproductive health? Why is it that anytime someone is talking about anything relating to sex or reproductive health, you're like, ish, please, so, yeah, nah, I'm not that kind of person. What kind of person are you? Because these are things that we experience in our day-to-day lives and activities. So I'm here with my panel, and we are going to get into the discussion. You've probably seen them here before. They are back to spill the tea. So let's get into it. You're welcome.
Thank you, Pasi. My name is Nakita, and I'm glad to be here once again.
I'm Hazel. I'm also happy to be here.
And I'm Hetty.
Hetty is a champion in this field, by the way.
Really?
So we would have her
Really?
steer her.
Yeah.
The conversation. Please lead us to the promised land. What is the fuss about SRH?
R.
Okay.
So sexual, reproductive health and rights. It's a state of complete mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And just 3 days ago, I got to know that we should add spiritual to it because we had some engagement with some religious leaders, and from their side and from the explanation they gave, if you are going through sexual and reproductive health issues, it can also affect your spiritual life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so take it from an angle of a woman who has given birth to more than she can take care of.
Okay.
It becomes a burden to you. And as a steward who is taking care of God's properties,
Creation.
you are not doing enough. You're not doing your job well. And it can, when you go to heaven, God will ask you.
Wow.
Yeah.
But this, surprisingly, this is a conversation that most people shy away from, especially those who, I don't want to use a term, but those who act like they go to church a lot. They are more Christian than other people. Usually when it comes to issues about sex, reproductive health, they're always shying away from it. No, I don't want to be a part of this conversation. So how does that and what you're saying, link or zinc, like?
Okay. The same people in church are the same people who are getting pregnant. They are the same people who are having STIs. They are the same people who are doing safe and unsafe abortions. So no matter who you are, whether you are in the church or outside the church, no matter your religion, it's a conversation we all need to have. It's not something that the fact that you're talking about it makes you a demon. I mean, God created sex and everything concerning sex. So talking about it doesn't demonize you. Yeah.
Makes sense. Doctor.
No, I'm a doctor. So with reproductive health, I'll touch on all the parts. So when it comes to emotional, if one is not emotionally sound, it can affect your reproductive health. So let's say if it comes to your menses, for instance, if you are not emotionally sound, you are stressed out, you are not eating well and all that, it all boils down to emotional health. So psychologically, the system will not be functioning well. So you can be affected. When it comes to physical, so physically, you should also look pleasant and all that. So if you are a girl having her menses, you should know how to take care of yourself, know how to dress up, know how to, so that you don't soil yourself, disgrace yourself in a way. So that is also part. And then the spiritual aspect. Spiritually, if you are mentally not sound, it will affect your spirituality. So it doesn't make you get involved with other things like church activities, prayers and all that. If you are not that sound, you can't do all these things. So if you're adding spiritual or the right to it, I think it's all good.
It's connected.
Yes, it's connected.
Wow.
Yeah.
And even
Because
for men, the emotional bits, I mean, there are moments they can't also perform well because mentally
they're not still
I like that point. I like where she's coming from.
That aspect is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, so connecting it all to spirituality, you know, with the mental health, you realize that when people are going through a lot, it affects them physically. When you're going through a lot mentally, it shows. And then also it affects your social life because then you draw back. I'm going to use myself as an example. So personally, when I'm going through something, I like to withdraw. I don't like to go for gatherings, and church is inclusive. But the moment I'm okay, I'm in the right state of mind, you know, maybe for instance, physically, let's say you have a new dress or you are looking good, you have new hair. Physically, you want to be seen, right? So you go to church, you go to, like, you be in a space where you'll be seen. So it all boils down to making yourself feel good and look good. And then taking care of yourself. You know you smell good. You want to be in the midst of people. You know you look good. You want to be in the midst of people. So if mentally you are not okay, personally, from personal observation, I draw back totally. Sometimes I don't even reply text. I don't reply, like I don't call back people who call me because then I want to go through it. And then when I'm done, I get into that space. Because whatever is happening to me is going to affect how I'm going to relate with people. Yeah, so it even affects, like she said, our period and, you know, the mood swings and the changes, the hormones. Everything that happens outside actually shows, even acne. Yeah. When you're stressed, it shows on your face and even your body, maybe the way you eat. And also when I'm going through a lot, I barely eat because then I start to think. And then I am shishe. Let me put it that way.
Some of us eat a lot.
Exactly.
Some people also eat a lot.
Really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, mine is not eating at all.
Yeah.
I don't eat. So everything is just connected. Because you can't put one down and take the other out.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow, it's going to affect the other. So if your physical life is not... there's been instances where I've seen on TikTok where people are going through, like, mental... you know, issues, and you go to their house and it's just rubbish everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen those videos.
Such people, if they had friends who visited them, they would probably have the urge to clean up, or they'll have someone telling them, hey, this is not good, you need to clean up. But then they don't have friends and they are living in the filth, and everything is just going on in their mental, physical, social, spiritual is all connected. That makes up the whole reproductive, you know, so it's really important.
Yeah, I like that the conversation is going this way because usually there's this stigma around people who like to talk about sexual and reproductive health, people who advocate for sexual wellness, reproductive wellness, and just, you know, these conversations. People are always quick to judge. Immediately someone hears you having a conversation about your sexual reproductive health, hey, what say? Hey, you are this, you are that. Like, there's so much stigma, and it usually comes from the people in the church instead, where such conversations are supposed to be had. Do you understand? People feel like if I belong to this particular religious group, there are some conversations I shouldn't have. But then in a way, we are being hypocrites when we say that people that go to church don't experience these issues, like they are not involved. Even if you feel like you are living a very righteous life, once you get married, you decide to even go the right way and get married, you start engaging in sexual activities, and then issues about fertility. There are instances where people feel like, oh, because I'm a Christian, because I'm this, so issues like that, they are not my concern, because they believe that since I go to church, I'm modest and all of that, I will not find myself in situations that would, and then I keep saying that you can't look at someone's face and their appearance and just think that everything is okay. You might be doing the right things, you might be doing the right things, and then you just meet the wrong person, and that's the end of it. So issues about sexual and reproductive health, because I have heard of an instance where this lady, that like is a church lady, like a woman that loves God. And I'm not talking about people that just go to church for church sake. This woman was a woman that loved God, goes to church every time, doing all the right things, like living a really, really good life, and just met a guy. And it's not like even fornicating or anything. They actually got married and all of that. But then the guy was having like, was it, is it that HIV or one STI issue? And then the lady contracted it. So see, this is someone that has been living a chaste life. You understand? Has been doing things the right way. Yeah. And then met the wrong person. But maybe if that person was probably educated on sexual and reproductive health, they need to have STI test, periodic test with your partner, especially someone that you are going to get married to. Yeah. And then doing those tests, maybe that lady could have found out that this was the issue, and then if she still wanted to go on and marry the person, they would have found a solution to it that would make her not contract it. But then once we decide to, when we put ourselves in situations where we feel like we are too perfect, so can never be me, you can never get into that situation because you are too careful. Life can come and show you that you can be too careful, but I can do you anyhow. I want to. Do you understand? So that's the reason why when it comes to sexual and reproductive health, you actually need to know about it, feel free to talk about it, listen to people talk about it, and not feel like it's just for a particular group of people. Have you ever been in a situation where you've heard a myth, like a myth about sexual reproductive health that shocked you because this thing that I'm saying is not true, but then people believe it so well that it's like it's almost like the truth? Has there been any instance like that? Anybody care to share? I'm looking at all of you.
Okay, so I think I'll touch on the fact that people believe when you educate young people on sexual and reproductive health, then you're giving them a ticket to go and have sex.
Yes.
I think it's such a crazy idea because information is power. And when you're giving a young person information, you're giving them the tool for them to make informed choice about their lives. So even when they decide to go and have sex, they know that I'm going to have a safe sex and not just go and mess around. So, that is it.
Makes sense. Sometimes when you even go to the schools and then you speak to them, I quite remember we've done some of the schools up there. We've gone to Manfi, Methodist girls and all that. We just have talk with them, like the whole school. And after that, they are so happy. Some of them even come to you. I want to be like you. And you become like an inspiration to them because you've shown them what to do and they do it and do it right. Even if they are going the wrong way, they know that I'm doing this thing to prevent myself from certain things, and they will be so happy to, if they have goals set for themselves. I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher. They can achieve those goals that they've set for themselves, and it's very good to do that.
Right. So one thing that is not really taught is, the thing is that I would say this generation, we are already involving in the act. So the best thing to do is to advise and give proper how do I put it, like instructions, what to do, what not to do, how to do it, and all that. For instance, your girl has started having sex. I think some parents know, some do not. But then, yeah. But I think even before they start doing it, you need to let them know. You can tell them sex before marriage is wrong, but should in case you find yourself involving in the act, and so do this, do that, protect yourself. Or even if you find yourself in a situation where you are pregnant, the more reason why some girls involve themselves in unsafe pregnancy, like abortion, is because they don't know where to go, and I feel like their friends can give them bad advice. I heard, okay, so one of the myths, it's not a myth per se, but then I learned bottles. They
Broken
crash
bottles.
bottles to take out pregnancy. I don't know how they do
you
it.
would die.
This-
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I
You
learned
would
back in the
die.
day they used to do that.
Oh, they still do
Some
it.
people even
It's
do
not
sugar.
back
They
in
still
the
do
day.
it.
Of course.
It's
sugar
going
with
to it's going to
Fanta and
land
all
you
that.
in
Broken
a whole.
bottles.
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
safe because it's
Complication.
getting into your
Concoction.
system.
It's
So
crazy.
imagine someone is giving her friend this advice that you need to crash bottles and take it to. And recently on TikTok
Yeah,
teaches
TikTok ambassador.
Yeah.
TikTok
There was
is where
one
the
I
information
saw.
is right now.
It's a hanger. I don't know how they do
Yeah,
it.
they use
Yeah.
the hook to pull.
Look at
the-
that.
What?
So I saw
Yeah,
that on
they
TikTok and I
insert
was
the
like,
hook.
people are like you've not heard of Mary Stopes. Like you are
Thinking it's
breaking, you are
pulling the
crashing
child out,
bottles
the
and
fetus
using
out.
hanger to bring out a baby when you can actually go through a safe
safe
process
process,
at Mary Stopes. So I think we should give our girls and even the men, the guys as well. In case you get your girlfriend or some girl pregnant, what do? Because at that moment you panic and a lot of things come to mind.
Yeah.
Because then instead of having the baby, you'd want to take that 50% chance of using the broken bottle, or the hanger. Maybe because you've not heard of Mary Stopes. You get
And
me?
most
So-
of the unsafe abortion advice are from the men.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually let the women go through that process.
Yeah,
Especially
so-
when he doesn't know of any safer or he
Option.
hasn't heard of any safer option.
Yeah.
They do that. Or, okay, a friend said the girl also did this, so you can try this. So most of it is from the boys telling the girls to do it. And in the end, a girl might lose her life.
Yeah,
Just
that
because of
happens.
I remember when I was a kid, not like
Kid.
but like growing up, there was one time in my hood, I saw a poster, like an obituary poster of a girl I knew from my junior high school. And this was someone that she wasn't in my class, she was my senior, but then we've been in school throughout. I've seen her throughout her days in school. And one day I just came across the poster. And when I came across the poster, there were actually people there discussing, because I think it was a poster that they just posted fresh. And then they are talking about, oh, this girl, she died because she went to have an abortion. And then she did the method that you're talking about, grinding
The glass.
the glass and then drinking it, and then like it just broke my heart. So, like I was so hurt. So growing up, I was really scared of like anything. I didn't want to hear anything abortion related because someone died out of it. But then growing up, getting to work with Mary Stopes, I got to understand that there are some situations, just like you're saying, these are things that people would do. So if you have an opportunity to at least save a life, are you trying to say that the person or the organization or the place that can do it for you, and if not for anything, save your own life, should just allow the person to do the wrong thing and then
Lose their life.
lose? Do you understand? Like an organization has taken it upon themselves. Some good clinics have taken it upon themselves to save these lives, because the number of unsafe abortions is alarming.
Because the truth is, they are going to do it.
They are going to do whether
So why don't
whether
do
you like it
the
or
safe
not.
way?
It's like telling someone not to eat a food when they are hungry. They might get hungry and then they would want to eat. So if you tell the person to not eat at all, you're killing them.
Yeah.
Why don't you allow them to go find something to eat? So when it comes to the issues of abortion, I think sometimes the stigma around it comes with the fact that people think that, oh, you are killing a baby. But I keep saying that if you listen to some of these stories, these people's stories, you realize that it's not always about you, the person talking about someone else. It's about them and what they are going through, how it's affecting their physical and mental well-being. Do you understand? How it's affecting their emotional well-being. There has been issues at Marie Stopes where someone has been, a child, 14, 16, has been defiled by their own father. Are you expecting that child to go through that pregnancy? What will happen? Do you understand? And people don't also understand that in Ghana, there are laws under which you can have an abortion. When you've been raped, when the rape is a result, when the pregnancy is as a result of an incest, if a doctor has told you that the pregnancy, the baby you are carrying is at risk of abnormalities and other complications, and if what's the last one? I think
and the last one would be mental health,
right? Or physical well-being.
Physical well-being.
Do you understand? So these are the laws under which you can have.
These are the criminal laws. So Marie Stopes don't just
do abortion.
and do abortion.
Or somebody doesn't just walk in and we are like, come, let us do abortion for
you.
you.
Immediately they get there and someone thinks that we come there, I'm 9 months pregnant, I want to say come and sit down. You understand?
It's not like that.
There are laws.
And
there are
laws
governing the procedures. And I think these are things that people should know.
Hey sis, do you have a busy schedule? Did you know you can speak with a health provider at the comfort of your home for all fertility and pregnancy options? Give us a call on 0800 208585 or send us a WhatsApp on 0244 208585 to be connected to a health provider.
So let's also talk about the fact that if you know you are not ready to have a child, one of the safest methods is to just go for a family planning method. So since we have Auntie Midwife here, do us the honors and educate us about family planning options.
Okay, so family planning, we have a lot. But let me start by this. Some people have so many misconceptions about family planning. And then when you speak to people over the phone or maybe when they're in front of you and you mention family planning, some people can tell you, stop, I don't want to hear about it. Please continue with the procedure. And I really take my time to talk to people about it because it's one of the things that you do since we are sexually active. Our boyfriends and our husbands are so following us, right?
You understand?
So we are sexually active, so we need to be doing something to prevent ourselves whilst we are not ready. So I take my time to speak to them, understand it. We have certain things about it that it's not that it cannot be treated. It can be treated. But some people will tell you, a friend, you can be doing a talk and then somebody, after you are done, do you have any question? Then a friend did it and all the it got rotten.
And the friend is fat.
My friend is fat.
My friend has gone fat.
So I don't, normally when I get people like my friend and this one, I'm like, no, family planning, it's different.
Yeah.
It's hormonal.
Different bodies.
So everybody and how they experience it. So you just have to experience it your own way and tell your own story.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me start by, we have so many kinds of family planning methods. The IUD is one of the longest method. It's for 10 years, but it can even exceed to 12 years. And it's placed in the uterus. It's when I'm talking about, like, it sounds so scary. As soon as you say it's placed in the uterus, like, huh? Are they going to do an operation on me?
Yes.
But me, IUD is one of the things I like to do because it's the simplest method for me. You just push it there and you're done.
I'll come for one.
That's, oh, why not? I'll gladly do it for you. So, an IUD does not come with any bleeding and all that. But IUD is one thing that it's non-hormonal. It doesn't have any hormones. And when you do it, it doesn't have any effect on your menstrual cycle, you gaining weight and all that because it's non-hormonal. And then when you do it too, as I said, it can take you up to 10 years. And it doesn't mean that some people have the idea that because it's 10 years, I have to wait for 10 years before I take it out. But it can be taken out out anytime you want to. IUD is also an emergency contraceptive. So if you have intimacy or sex and you feel like I'm not safe, you can pass by, we'll do the IUD for you for 24 hours and then you take it out. So that's how,
really?
yes, IUD is an
I didn't
emergency
know that.
contraceptive.
Can you
Please-
use it again? When
Please,
know
please
that.
explain
No, you
it.
can't use it
Please explain it very well before someone would go and have sex and then 2 months, 3 months, once they are pregnant, they will come that they should do IUD for them.
The IUD, as I was saying, it's 12 years. So it's an emergency contraceptive pill. So if you have it, it's not like you've had intimacy for 3 days, you're now coming for an IUD.
Or you are pregnant,
Or
you're
you're
now
even
coming.
pregnant
It's not
and
an
you're coming.
emergency.
No,
It's not an abortion
emergency.
Yeah.
drug
Yes.
too.
So yes, it's not an abortion drug too. So if you have intimacy like over the night, like today you had some AEB, and then the next morning you can just walk
fast.
into any of our centers and then we can do it for you. And then we place it there for 24 hours and then take it out. So IUD can be served as an emergency contraceptive too.
Only in that
Only
sense.
in that, yes.
That
please.
exception.
Even when
Yes.
you're ovulating?
No, when if
Ovulation,
you're
let's
you know,
do
by
it.
the
It will
time-
not work.
By the time you get there, you are
So
pregnant
the
already.
IUD too. Oh, okay.
Yes, you know when the IUD is there, it actually thickens the walls of the uterus and the fallopian tube so that the sperm cannot swim and meet the eggs. That is all the hormonal drugs does. Yes. So we have the implants. The implant is also, we have the 3 years, which is the implant, or we have the 5 years, which is the Jadel. It's also placed in the arm. We place it so beautifully that nobody will notice unless the inquisitive men that will start be pressing your hands to know what is there.
I know a man. He said that the first time he meets a woman, he would just press your
hand
arm
to
to
see.
see.
Did I hear that thing? I was, yes,
I'm
men
like,
do
that's
that.
gross.
Yes.
Hey, now I'll be checking anybody that tries to.
Yes, that's
They
what
just
the
want
men
to
do
be
now.
sure
Yeah, they
whether
just want
you-
to be sure. Like they want to get you pregnant, right?
Hey, God forbid.
Yeah, so we have that one too. And as I said, it can also be taken out when you are ready for a baby. But those ones are hormonal. So when you do it, let me just walk through. After that, I'll talk about how the hormonal
hormonal.
effects. So after we have the injectables, which we have the Cyana press, and then we have the depot shots. So you take a shot, it will last for 3 months. That one is also hormonal. And then we have the pills, which you take every day for a period of 3 months. So that one, when you check it's a cycle. So it comes with 3 cycles in every box. So when you're taking it, you check how the arrow moves behind it, and then you take it beautifully. One thing I always tell the ladies is that when you are taking a pill, a contraceptive pill, you have to take it every day. If you are doing it in the mornings, you have to do it in the morning. So you set an alarm on your phone so that it can remind you. The pills are so cute enough that you can even forget about them. So you just have to take it regularly. And if you are taking it and you feel like, oh, I'm not sexually active, so I'm done. Let me stop taking it. As soon as you're sexually active and then you want to take the pill, don't go back to the sachets you were taking. Throw that one away because it's a cycle and it's to follow. So you take another sachet and then start the cycle all over again.
Wow.
That's the mistake some people do. We told them, I was on the pill, how were you taking it? I stopped and I started again. And it doesn't work that way. So yes. And also the natural method too is also there. We have the abstinence, it's also a family planning method.
Yes, it's the best.
Very.
Best method.
The best one.
So those ones are, but let me address this issue. Those are major, I wouldn't say, that is what people normally say, that if you do the hormonal methods, you become fat, you gain weight, your menstrual cycle does change and all that. It's a hormonal method. Actually, what happens is that the hormones that makes you look like a lady, makes you look beautiful, that makes you get all the physiques as a lady, that is the same hormone that prevents you from getting pregnant. So this is the one that we've taken, and then we've done the artificial one, and it's given to you. So when you take it, today we are doing a little midwifery anyway. So the ones that are in charge of our menstrual cycle, that is the estrogen. The estrogen, that one, when you are pregnant, you are breastfeeding, you go through your cycle and all that, the estrogen is for that. And the progesterone is for you looking like a lady and not getting pregnant and all that. That's what it does. So we've taken the progesterone and we have the artificial one and we are giving it to you. Let's say this. You have estrogen and progesterone only. we are adding up progesterone, which is not making you have your menses. Okay, so what will happen to your cycle? Definitely it will mess up. Because now the estrogen level that is for you to have your menses is down. It's low. So definitely your menses will mess up. It's either you have your menses regularly or it doesn't even come at all. If it is not coming, what is happening is that the eggs are not being released. Remember, as soon as the eggs are being released, it tells the uterus, we are going to have a baby. Prepare yourself for a baby. If there is no fetus or there is no pregnancy or fertilization taking place, the uterus will shed off and come with the egg as your menses every month. So if the eggs are not being released, the uterus does not have any signal that I should prepare myself for a baby. So definitely you're not going to have your menses.
Okay, a quick one. People think that what you're saying, there's a myth that
the blood will gather somewhere.
It will become
fibroid. Sometimes when I meet people like that, I always want to show them a picture of a fibroid. It doesn't even look like a blood. It's not blood. It's not even blood. It's a tissue. It's not blood. So I always show them a picture of a fibroid. It's not blood. So that is how, and these people selling the local herbs. Oh God, when I'm in a car, sometimes I want to talk. Papa Jaini, it's not true.
It's not true.
Yes. Then you've done family planning, please take this medication. You'll make the menses come. So if you are listening, this thing is very important to me. If you are listening, please, if you are not having your menses, it means that you are not ovulating. So when you stop taking the medication, you will start ovulating. So relax. Just keep the money for the pad. When you start your menses, use again. And those ones that have their menses, they have bleeding in between their menses. So you start spotting, or you can have your menses and it's more than your menstrual cycle days. What you do is that you come to our centers, we'll give you a medication which has the estrogen and progesterone. It's also used to treat infertility. So we'll give it to you, you take it, and then the hormones will be balanced. So you don't have a problem. No shaking.
So one thing people believe is that everything has like side effects.
Yeah.
Are there any side effects that you
family
can let us
planning?
know about?
There are no side effects. So the side effects of family planning are very, very long term. That it's not every woman that will even experience it. Because it's hormonal, the hormones can be mess up sometimes.
Yeah, it's just the normal
it's
bleeding.
It's just the normal
bleeding. Gaining weight.
These are it's not even a problem because it can be solved.
Yeah.
It can be after the weight gain. After the weight gain, I don't have control over it.
Of course, mostly our lifestyle too.
Our lifestyle and all that. Some people say I'll do it. My stomach will become. I'm like, please check your eating. Maybe you are eating late. Check it.
And I think the side effect part. Most people have underlying health conditions that they do not know. Yeah. So immediately you go and do family planning and you get to know you have this condition. They attribute it to the family planning. So that could also be another aspect.
I've actually removed an implant for somebody. The person was coming to the center. The person was limping. The person was limping on a leg. Hi. I can't even walk. This thing is worrying me. As soon as I took it out of the person jumped out of the bed and was walking like that. I was like, hey, mommy, are you serious? Some people have so many things about it, but it's not true. Just relax. Come in. Let's do it for you.
Okay, so this is for the IUD.
Yeah.
What about the emergency contraceptives, the pills?
Yeah. Actually, the pills, it should not be taken more than twice in a year.
Most people don't.
The hormones in there are so high because it's an emergency contraceptive. The hormones there are so high, more than the normal family planning you do. So if you are taking it and taking it and taking it, remember, these cancers or all that, they are abnormal growth of the cells. And these hormonal drugs, you should be very careful about them, especially with the emergency contraceptives.
Yeah, because sometimes you hear some people talking about, I've missed my period and my period is not coming. Then you ask them, have you been on any contraceptives lately? They say yes. When was this? I took from emergency pill about 4 different,
Hey,
continuously. Today, today.
so you
I
use
had
it as
sex
paracetamol?
Yeah.
Yes,
They use it as a
today.
normal family planning.
After I was,
Oh.
we
And it
had
can
sex
even mess
again,
up. It can even mess up your cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Some
then
people
they'll
take
take
it and have
again
two
4
periods
in a
them.
day. And you're
A month,
expecting the
yeah.
period
So
to
can
come
we
from
make
where?
emphasis on the fact that it's supposed to be taken
Twice.
most
Yes,
Okay,
twice?
so
Because I
twice.
see lots of people abuse it.
Yeah, because it's
People
one
are
that
abusing
that's
it.
heavily
Maybe it's because
realized-
they don't know.
They don't know. They
They
think
don't
that's
know.
like
So
every
don't
time
know.
you can
with
just
the
take it.
twice aspect, actually, it was a conversation, and World Health Organization did a study on it, on how frequently people can take it. And now the study shows you can take it as frequent as you want, but then you just have to know that it's going to mess up with your cycle. That is the only thing it will cause,
And then
aside messing up with your cycle.
and that brings a lot of issues.
So
Because
if you are fine for
Then
your
we will be
cycle to be
jumping-
messed
you'll be
up,
panicking.
yeah, you can
Now
just
you cannot
take it.
even calculate your safe period again,
Yeah,
because everything
yeah.
is
Well,
just
then
You
you
have
messed
to
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything
Yes,
is just
everything
messed up.
changes. Yes,
And then
after
it can
taking
also, for someone that wants to get pregnant soon, it can affect your fertility,
See,
because
yeah.
when you are
Fertility.
taking it,
Yes.
it will just be changing your
the
cycle.
cycle,
So
and then you have problems
yeah,
with
you have
fertility
problems
issues.
with fertility, not because you can't give birth,
but you don't know when you are ovulating.
you don't know
and
when
all
you're
that.
ovulating. So maybe the time that you're supposed to actually engage in sexual activity with your partner so that you can get pregnant,
You are not even
you are not doing
ovulating.
it. And then the time that you think you might be ovulating,
Yeah.
you are not, because your cycle is messed up.
Yeah.
And you see, one thing also about this is that people think that using the Flow app and then the other reproductive
Yeah.
apps to track your cycle and all of that, when you are taking these emergency pills and all of that, you don't update the app that say I
I'm
took
taking-
a pill,
yeah.
or I had
That's true.
unprotected sex. Or,
Yeah, people
so
don't do
it will
that.
still be telling you the normal
yeah.
thing. Meanwhile,
You have
You've
done your
not
own
updated
thing.
you
it.
know, it
change.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
So all these things, when you are facing it now, you start panicking, you start looking for all sorts of solutions,
Yeah.
and then if you don't get to visit the right place for assistance, then you just be complicating things with the information you find on the internet or what someone gives to you. So this is also an issue that people should take note of. Yeah, when it comes to sexual reproductive health, another issue is also STIs.
Yeah.
That is the bad ones, because that can like do a whole lot of damage about it. When we were talking about the family planning options, one honorable mention I wanted to how do you say it?
Hammer on.
Yes, hammer on is the fact that the condom is the only
One, that protects
method
you.
that protects you from
Dual
both
method.
unplanned pregnancy
Pregnancies
and,
and
sexually
sexually
transmitted
transmitted
infections.
infections, yeah.
You can take IUD, you still contract HIV and gonorrhea and syphilis and all of that.
You come and do Jadel for 5 years free.
Free boto, and then you go. You still yes. Then you now be going this place to this place. You catch infections. It's only the condom that can prevent you
protect
from both.
you.
So if you can't abstain, please make sure that even if
using
you
the
have
condoms.
IUD or whatever, to be safe from sexually
STIs,
transmitted
yeah.
infection, especially if it's not someone that you are married to, even if it's someone that you're married to and you don't know their status, please make sure you use the condom.
So we were focused more on the IUDs preventing pregnancies so much that we forgot the STIs. And you mentioned that condom is the only tool that can prevent STIs and pregnancies. And I think people have been made to get so scared of pregnancies that they forget the
STIs,
STI
yeah.
aspect.
Yeah.
You know, and the STI is actually difficult to treat. You know, even though you can get pregnant and then maybe it's unwanted, and then you would have to go through the process of abortion or keeping the baby.
pregnancy.
But then STI is like health related, is your body, and it's actually difficult to treat, most of them. For instance, HIV. I don't know, there are probably drugs that can help. It doesn't
There's no cure for it.
it doesn't cure it, but then it helps you. But then imagine having to take HIV AIDS like medications every single day of your life
forever.
You know, so we need to focus on the STI part as well. You know, so the condoms please
think-
buy them. And don't be
also buy
shy. Don't
them.
be shy to walk into a pharmacy.
And
To
buy
buy
flame condoms.
Flame,
you
specifically.
know?
Flame condoms.
Yeah, when you walk in fact,
So we have
ask
the
for
box there, right?
Ask for the type of scent you want, whether strawberry, whatever.
Vanilla.
Please emphasize on it. Now the person you are talking to has been doing it, so just please.
This reminds me when we were in school, dancing training.
Spill the tea,
Sis,
sis.
spill,
Our
spill.
teacher told us we should go and buy condoms for demonstration. I couldn't buy it.
You couldn't because you're shy. You
I
don't,
was so shy.
it's the stigma that comes
I had
with
to let
it.
somebody go and buy it and bring
Even
it
the
home.
after pills.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go into the pharmacies and then they will be looking. Even me now, my mouth is talking here like I can't because the way they will look at
They'll
you.
look at you
Oh,
like
me,
ah.
I walk in with full vim.
I remember going
and
to
I
a
do.
pharmacy and asking about flame condom. So I was just asking about all the condoms. So there was an older man standing beside me. The way he turned to look at me, I said, condom be I guess that was what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, please, this is my work. I'm just finding out if they have my brand here.
Yeah.
And one thing too about the STIs, when it's untreated, it can also cause infertility.
Yeah.
So I think people should be very mindful.
And
when
even
you see
cervical cancers.
any
Yeah.
signs, just rush to a hospital. Don't wait till it escalates and becomes something huge.
Yeah, and I think
And one thing about young people now, when we see fine boys, fine girls,
fine boys.
we think that is it.
You understand?
When you see the physique, you don't know what is inside
The
that person.
Yeah.
Okay. The physique, yeah, might be nice, but you don't know the kind of conditions this particular person has.
the things they are
So
doing.
when we are thinking
A fine boy.
farm boy, let's think about what diseases might this person be having or this girl be having.
Request
'Cause
for test results.
Yeah,
Request for them.
or even go
she
together
can
with
walk-
the person,
walk in
walk
and
in
do it.
together.
So now
Because
you
somebody
scan,
will
you
go and-
scan the not just the handsomeness.
They'll go and do a
scan
result and bring
inside.
it to you,
Inside.
but it's not the real thing.
Yeah.
They can fake things and bring to you. So walk in together. If you know this particular person is your partner,
Yeah.
go to a health facility, visit Mary Stopes clinic together and get tested. Know that you are both fine. And not doing it just that one time. It should be continuous.
Periodically.
At least every 3 or 6
And
months.
I
you
know
do
of a
that.
colleague like that. As soon as she when she meets you, tell her I like you. She also likes you like that. Her first thing is
Let's go to the
HIV.
clinic.
Because she's a nurse, she'll carry it and bring it to the house and do it for
And
you.
it's not even
And
just
as time goes on,
HIV.
she will be doing it like that.
We have chlamydia,
Yeah.
we have gonorrhea.
Yeah, we have
I
so
mean,
many
those
there are variety
Even
of
even
STIs.
HPV.
You have the HPV.
And people don't know that the virus that causes cervical cancer is HPV.
Yeah.
And then they don't
The
even
human
know that there's
papillomavirus.
even a vaccine
Yeah.
for HPV. So these issues about cervical cancer and all of that.
So men,
You can go and take the HPV vaccine, especially if you are not yet sexually active. That's the
yeah.
best
So
period
mothers, please.
to go
That's
and
the
take
best
the
period.
test
Walk your girls.
and then get the vaccine, because that vaccine can prevent you from a lot of cancers,
yeah.
especially cervical
Cancer.
cancer.
so we are pleading with the mothers. Please
Please
walk
come
your
in.
girls, your young
Your
girls
young
who are
girls.
not sexually active.
Active yet.
Even
To
the
the
guys
clinics
as
to
well.
get the vaccination, right?
Yeah, even the young
Yes,
guys.
and the young guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Please
Yeah,
come
so
and then do it. And one thing I remembered about the condoms, please, every round, new condom.
hey,
Very
Don't
important.
use
Seven
one
rounds.
condom for 7 rounds.
wash it and bring it back.
So
No, wash
the sperm from
Rinse it and come and put it on
Ew.
again. Dry it and come and put it on again.
You can't even fix it. That's the
Can you
thing.
imagine?
This one is a funny story anyway. There was a man that went to the hospital. The doctor was telling him how to put on the condom. So the doctor used, I think, his hand or something like that, and he put it on it. And said, so you do like this, and then you have sex. When he went, he also did it like that.
Also, he was having the sex. So the condom was on the hand.
So they came back to us like, my wife is pregnant. So it's like, didn't you use a condom? I said, no, but I said I should put it.
And that is when you are doing
This
demonstration.
is definitely the tea of the
Especially
day.
for adolescents.
so if I did
It is the things you tell them that we do. So when you go to the schools and you want to do some of these things to educate the kids, teachers feel you just want to promote sex.
Yeah, and that's
but
the problem. That's
it
the
is
problem.
not.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You know,
They are
looking at
doing
this
it.
instance, somebody will go and put a condom on the finger.
Because you see, there are different levels of understanding,
that's the
and
thing.
sometimes it's not that someone is daft, but that's how they understood whatever you demonstrated. So I think that religious institutions, schools, and all these stakeholders in our communities and
open
societies
up.
should allow room for these educational sessions to be had.
Yeah. Was it 2 years ago that the Ghana Education Service wanted to bring that into the curriculum?
Yeah.
It
It became an issue.
Every parent was like, no,
It
we
became
don't
an
want to
issue.
bring it
The
into the
CSC
curriculum.
controversy.
It became an issue.
I mean, Ghanaians, I just don't know.
Parents
our
were
issue.
pissed, like, we don't want it.
We are hypocrites. That's the thing. We are hypocrites.
doing it.
We are hypocrites. We
And
would
this
we
is
we,
age
we like
appropriate.
to act like we don't do things, but we are doing it.
Yeah.
And the
And
truth
it's
is,
not like-
eventually they are going to
To
get
do
there.
it. Do you understand?
And the thing behind this whole CSE thing is it's not like they are going to teach a KG child how to wear condom.
Condoms.
It was age appropriate information. So at every age, you are given something you need, something on personal hygiene. I mean, body development.
Yeah.
It was those bits as you are growing, the level increases. But Ghanaian society, we feel it's a foreign agenda. Somebody's trying to do something. So,
yeah.
but we are here. People are having
I
sex,
think our
and young
generation
people
will
are
do
having sex
better.
every day. Look at the rate of teenage pregnancy.
It's crazy. Like,
you
it's
know?
really crazy.
And I was so sad when our MPP and NDC, they were reading the manifesto. They didn't say anything about that. Because these are our future leaders who are getting pregnant. These are girls who could be the next president, the next vice president. And they are just getting pregnant. And even though there is return to school agenda or initiatives running,
The
how many of
stigma.
them are able to return to
The
school?
stigma that even comes with
That is
you
it.
being pregnant
That
whilst
is
you're
it.
in school.
Yeah, and our spiritual leaders too.
The spiritual
They
leaders
should
don't
stop
help at
that.
all.
They don't help.
Don't help at all.
A girl will get
I
pregnant.
met I met a woman with Gravida 12. Like, she has 12 kids and one is dead. We're trying to talk to this woman to do an IUD because we don't want to let her pick a method that you are not supposed to pick the method for the person. But because she said, my pastor says if I do it, I will die. You don't want the person to
Family
go,
planning.
Yes,
Yeah.
my dear. You don't want the person to do something that, like the hormonal method, maybe that it messes up with her cycle and then she has issues. Then
They'll say, "Oh, we
then
said
it becomes
it."
like
Yeah.
we said it. So we're trying to convince that it is good, like that. This woman, it took me like 2 hours before I did IUD for her, and I left the place, and then she came back to us that she wants to take it up. The pastor says that she will die.
And even some will say their pastor will see it spiritually.
It's so sad. This is a woman who is giving birth. You're not even helping her. Take
That's
care of the
crazy.
kids.
And you know,
That's
as
crazy.
kids.
12 kids.
As Ghanaians,
they
majority
rich
of us
or
are
low?
Christians.
Rich
From
and
what she's
we are
saying,
being
is
free
fully
family planning for that person.
You know, majority of Ghanaians are Christians. Almost like 71% of the population are Christians. And it just shows you how much we listen to the church. So if a church is pushing, don't do family planning. And what saddens me is that when you have 12 children, the church isn't going to say, bring them.
Bring
The
5
little-
and let's
the
take
little
care
you
of
give
them.
in and for they are
you
still
know?
taking some from it.
What I've seen some pastors do though that I think is good is like talking about the personal hygiene stuff, you know. Chuwe, do you understand? No, at least there are some pastors that are trying to do that
The
bit.
mission schools, I mean, most of our mission, the universities, they charge school fees. They won't say you're a church member, so come for free.
Do you understand?
know?
So these
when,
issues,
as an individual,
Yeah.
if you are thinking about getting pregnant, also think about how you are going to take care of those children. Because this one that you are saying, your pastor say, when you do it, you die. When you die, who is going to take care of
the
the 12
kids, yeah.
or the 11 left?
It's so
You know?
sad.
it's sad.
So this is actually from X some time ago, where there was a debate, given free sanitary pads and giving out free condoms, which one is good?
With this particular one, I would go for the free sanitary pads. I will go for the free sanitary pads because it's something that there's nothing you can do about it. every month you know that there's a girl somewhere who is going to menstruate, and then it's like a ritual. It's something that you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and there are some
But
ladies in some villages still using cloth.
Yeah, they
And
don't
I
have
heard
access
not
to sanitary
village.
pads. Even
in
yes,
Africa,
Yes.
it's not to
Using
say that
cloth.
using the cloth is
It's
bad.
bad.
Yes, there are healthy ways of keeping it. But some people even don't have anything to use at all.
At all.
Some use, is it leaf?
Yeah, I
And
heard of the
tissue.
leaf
Collect
one.
leaf to collect
No, what will
menstrual
it soak?
blood.
What will it soak?
You know, and these are there are instances that girls will even miss school because during that 5 or 7 days, I don't have a pad and I can't go and sit in class,
class like
with a
that.
stain.
So
Yeah.
with
And look
what
at
you
the
were
prices
saying,
of sanitary pads.
it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
understand?
crazy.
It's crazy. If you are team tampons, that's even crazier because that's like really
And I
expensive.
I don't also understand why we are not accepting menstrual caps because that's the most sustainable of it. And I've been using one for almost 3 years. Just a cap. I've been using it for almost 3 years. I mean, it's easy to use. You don't have to go and wash it. You just need water and you sterilize it and
You see,
you
people
go.
that
And even
comes with the
with
education. Like
But
people
with
don't
the
know
communities
at
with the
all.
cups, if somebody is, won't it break somebody's fertility?
no, please. Where the
The
cap
hymen.
ends is not where the penis ends. Even though it enters the same, I mean, how do they call it? The vaginal hole. But it doesn't go to
All the way there.
that
The
tip
hymen is.
where it will go and break your hymen. No,
But
it
to
doesn't.
Kita's question, why on which basis did they decide to put free condoms and free sanitary pads side by side?
It's happening
Yeah.
here in Ghana. We have free condoms, even in MSI. We have the unbranded condoms. You can just pick it at any health facility for free. But you can't walk to a supermarket and pick a pad for
Sanitary
free.
pads.
Yeah.
And I think that when it comes to, in as much as people would always engage in sexual activities, comparing menstruation to sex
It's absurd.
is absurd because there's nothing you can do about
It's not relatable at
someone having their monthly flow. But then there's something you can do about having sex. Do you understand? You can decide to abstain.
Yeah.
But then the person going through with the monthly period can't decide not to have it. So with that particular debate, I think that choosing the free sanitary pad is 100%
Yeah, and
The
even
rights-
if not being free, like the price.
should reduce.
Because
I-
it's someone's business,
Yeah.
right? And the I don't know. I'm not going to
I
make this
think for now-
political.
for
but
now-
all I'm suggesting is that
The
it would have been
prices
a
should be
better
reduced.
place if
This is
the
something
prices
that should be tax
were
free,
reasonable.
like-
Yes.
Because the cost of sanitary pads these days, I mean, some people would opt for
A cheaper one.
tissue.
Yeah.
And even tissues are expensive.
The tissues, you can even get infections from them.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
they
the
can tear, the
particles.
particles
Yeah.
can just go there.
Yeah.
You know, MSI is part of the advocacy to remove period taxes. And this was one of the conversations there, comparing the condoms, free condoms to pad issue. But I think the government actually made a stand about it and they removed taxes on...
Correct me. Was that not that debate when there was a female MP saying that sanitary pads are luxury goods?
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at the woman. I'm like,
Yeah.
Madam.
Luxury.
So it's captured as a
Sanitary pad.
luxury.
Yeah,
It's a
it is,
luxury
yeah,
But
yeah,
it
it's-
should be a medical...
Was it made by Audi or
don't- like,
Mercedes?
I
Because I don't get
Aye.
it. Sanitary
Aye.
pad.
I think that
And,
unless I'm wrong,
you
if I'm
know,
wrong, sorry.
what
But I
hurt
remember
is-
something like
what
that.
hurt is it would come from a woman.
It was
And
coming from a
sometimes
woman.
I'm like, the women in parliament, what are they
It's
doing?
like when once
Can't they
people
advocate
get
for some of
into
these
power,
things?
then there's a spirit.
You forget
that-
about where
there's
you
a
are coming
spirit.
from.
There's a spirit that comes with the position because it doesn't make sense. I was so disappointed.
It's
I
not
was so
actually them.
disappointed.
It's how it's captured from GRA.
Yeah.
That's how they
It's
capture
GRA
it
that
as a
captures it.
luxury good.
So I think maybe there is
So-
something that
No.
we
But they
can
as
do.
politicians
Tagging sanitary
can...
pad as luxury.
It just
work
doesn't
on
make
that.
sense at all.
Maybe they were not
It just
in
tells-
their right state
What
of
what,
mind
I,
when
what
they were
I saw
releasing
was that's what I'm saying. Unless I saw wrong, But I think
It
I saw
is,
something
yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah,
and it
it's-
was
It
a
is.
woman.
That's
that
how
was
it's captured.
It is under
a woman
luxury
was.
goods.
Do you understand?
As instead of a medical supply, it's captured as a luxury good.
Wow.
So we are working on that advocacy to also.
I mean, it's
hope
really
that
sad.
Shout out to
that can
MSI.
be
Yeah, MSI.
that can be worked on.
One
yeah.
MSI, right?
One MSI. Okay,
Yeah.
so today has been really, really educative and interactive as well. I'm always excited when the conversations are going this way so that you're not just listening to us for fun, but you're also learning something for it. This show is proudly brought to you by Marie Stopes International Ghana, and that is your number one stop for anything sexual and reproductive health related. See you next time. Bye.
Ciao.